Nobody wants to take responsibility. If you go out now and see some people smoking in their home, ask them, boy, why are you like this? He said, don't mind them. This government don't kill us. As if it's the government that bought Indian hymn for them. Priest is an intercessor, making an atonement for Israel. He stands in the gap between God and Israel. And Hebrews chapter 9 will tell us that the priest will always go with blood to sacrifice for himself and for the people. That's verse 6 and verse 7. Standing in the gap. This is one thing that is missing, and that's why the devil is having a free day in many of our families. It's making some of us more concerned than ever. Particularly in this type of job we do, there are some situations you keep handling over time. Every day will come back, you keep crying, you lose appetite, you find it difficult to sleep. We're doing a ministry, a man, a very serious leader in one church, has only 2 sons. First of all, came and complained to me, my second son's behavior is somehow strange. I think he belongs to a cult. I said, bring him. He brought him. Surely, when I asked him 1 or 2 questions and we broke into him, he was involved. I said, I want to see your first son. I didn't want to tell him. And the first son was a kingpin in another court. And he has only 2 sons. The first son is 21, a kingpin. And the second son is about 18, a serious member. And the first son is still in either second year or third year in the university. And he's a serious church member, church leader. So that by the time he will be the devil would have rubbished the children. He would have labored for nothing. And when I asked the first son some questions, he used eyes to tell me to tell the father to leave. I told the man, could you excuse me? I'll call you back. He said to me, Reverend, you better pray for me now. I want God to deliver me from the devil I have embraced. I said, how old are you? He said, 21. We're handling the case. My wife is aware. A girl about 25 years, still in the university, says she's doing final year, marrying another lady that is 13 years older than her as a lesbian. And they were planning to go this October to South Africa to legalize the marriage. And the mother of the small girl sees this auntie as helping their child with finances and things. They come to appreciate the lady for helping their daughter. And the one marrying the other one, the younger one is the husband of the older one. What an aberration. And she's still in final year. Is it the devil is doing a serious work, taking hold of the families. We're talking about this issue of intercessor, standing in the gap. It is the priest that goes in. You know, we have a problem, this part of the world, that in so many issues, nobody wants to take responsibility. Everybody's looking for who to blame. As we're talking now, one question some people may be asking may be, what are families that don't have a man? What business do you have with that one? You are talking about your own. They will be busy taking that one. Does it work on that in that situation, or does it? That is not part of your job. Your own is to deal with your own case. Nobody wants to take responsibility. If you go out now and see some people smoking in their home, ask them, boy, why are you like this? He said, don't mind them. This government don't kill us. As if it's the government that bought Indian hymn for them. Nobody wants to take responsibility. To say, this is my fault. What do I do? Intercessors. Standing in the gap. No matter the nature of the sins of Israel, when the priest enters the sanctum sanctorum and comes out, it is on. Brethren, have you discovered that in the Old Testament, a priest goes into the Holy of Holies and procure anointing and atonement that can last for a whole 1 year? And we're in a better covenant. When he goes in there and stands, multitude of Israel, multitude of sins, he stands before them as an intercessor. And God said, I've heard. And when he comes out, he says to them, peace. And there's celebration. That's why there's rejoicing on the day of atonement. But we don't have priests in the home who can stand in the gap. Hey, my wife have insulted me, but Lord, that's no reason why she should die in childbirth. I refuse, Lord. If you read Bible, Genesis 25:21, the Bible said, and Isaac entreated the Lord on behalf of his wife, Rebekah, for Rebekah was barren. She was barren. And Isaac entreated the Lord. The word entreated is stronger than beg. Amplified Bible said, for Isaac prayed much. That is why I say, madam, go and look for a solution. Others are trying. You know what other women do? They go and intercede for themselves. I will not die. In fact, my parents are calling me, asking me why there is no child. No. Isaac entreated the Lord, held the Lord, and said, Lord, no, this is my wife. I don't know the argument. We were not told. Maybe there will be argument. So and so and so. She was born in the water. I know, Lord, but from the water you can pull her out. All the reasons he entreated the Lord. He was an intercessor. He stood in the gap. He became a defense. How many fathers are defense? How many fathers even know when calamity is coming to their house? It's even their wife that see it in the dream first and tell them, I say, darling, I had a dream. You say, keep praying, let's know. When they suddenly come, he say, my wife said it. What are you doing? You are the head. In my house, nobody prays more than me. That person have not been born. That's why I'm the head. I'm not the head for mouth. There was a time my wife was fasting more than me. I said to myself, who is marrying the other? Me marrying her or she's marrying me? And the one marrying her. If you tell me, thus says the Lord, I have had it, I say yes. I will be the one to confirm. That's why I'm the head. Interceding. Listen, brethren, we are lacking priests that will stand as intercessors. Many fathers cannot even tell us anything about the new child born in their house. They were not there. They were not at their place of intercession. They were not there interacting with God. And God said, I am giving you another prophet. He's coming into your heart. You don't know why. You don't know what the child is coming from. Simon said, Lord, may your servant depart in peace. My eyes have seen the salvation of Israel. And they brought the child. He took the child and said, for this child, many shall go down in Israel, and many shall be lifted up. Because of that child, Herod went down. Because of that child, the Pharisees went down. Because of that child, illiterate fishermen became world changers. Simon said, they will not kill him, but they will go down for him. They tried to kill him. All of them went down. There was somebody there, a father, that knew why the child came. You know that any day as an intercessor and a priest, you discover why God allowed you to marry your wife. It will change your reaction, your disposition towards her. That thing you see will be stronger than any other mistake. Okay, let me use the common things. Assuming you prayed and you discover that in 10 years' time, your wife will become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which will now make you the husband of the president. You suddenly discover it and you know it is correct, everything confirmation. If she says to you, shut up your mouth, what will you say? You say, I know, it's all right. It's all right. It doesn't mean anything. You know why? Not because the shut up is not paining you, but because of what you saw. Once you can see, as an intercessor, you are there to see, to stand in the gap. Brethren, we are looking for priests who will stand. For I shall not do anything except I first tell my prophets. How can a prophet and a priest be there and the devil will just come in and snatch them? Piawan. There's nobody there. There's nobody there. I keep alert more than anybody in my house. Spirit and physical. That's why I'm the head. Interceding. interceding. Can you remember Genesis 49, Jacob? The Bible said, Jacob said to his children, "Come ye, all you children of Jacob, let me tell you what shall be of you in the last days. Come, listen to your father." That's when he told Reuben, "You are my first son, the excellency of my strength, the excellency of power, my might. But you are unstable as water." You remember that you talked about being stable. Because if you're unstable as a man, no matter what you have, your excellency of power, you have macho, excellency of dignity, you have degrees, your excellency, you have money, but unstable as water. You are amount to nothing. In this better covenant, imagine if I was Jacob. When I discover there is a curse on Reuben, my first son, I will stand in the gap and say, that's why I like Moses. Spare, Lord. If Moses was Abraham, from my own childish calculation, Sodom would have been destroyed. Would have been destroyed. Because Abraham, I think he's just a gentle pastor, like many of our pastors, very gentle. He said, what if there are 50 people? He said, I will not destroy it. 45, no. 30, no. 15, 20, 10, no. I said, well, God, you have tried. But, if it is Moses, Lord, spare. God said, I will kill. You know what you ask God? Lord, you are a long-suffering God. If you turn it upside, it means, is this how long your suffering is? Are you not a loving God? Are you not long-suffering? How long is your long-suffering? God said, I have repented. The man refused to accept anything. They will say you are not able to take them to Egypt and you kill them. But you are the Almighty. That is to say, are you sure it's because you are not tired now that you want to kill them? God changed his mind. An intercessor was there. He would have said, God, Reuben have sinned. But Lord, may I die the death of Reuben. Let my first son become somebody. He would have stood in the gap. David said, what did these people do to you that you are killing them? Kill me. It's me that sinned. That's why Adam missed it. Adam, where are you? He said, I'm here. I'm naked. I hid myself. Who told you? Have you eaten the fruit? He said, it is the woman. Instead of saying, Lord, spare us. Spare us. This woman, don't mind her. It's not even her you told that we shouldn't eat the fruit. It's me, Lord. I'm the one supposed to die. He thought that by the time he transfer it, not knowing that the world is round, it will go round and round and still find him. Instead of standing in the gap. And if you look at the question, it said, have you eaten it? The next thing was to fall down and say, God, I am guilty. I am guilty. But he shifted it. He didn't stand as an intercessor. That's what you used to tell your wife. And I know the problem I have in this place. If you have been supporting me in prayer, I wouldn't lose this proposal. Who told you? How many people enter with priests into the Holy of Holies? Standing in the gap. Brethren, imagine when we have this kind of men in the homes. Let me conclude. 2 things necessary to step into our position of priesthood. Number 1 is personal encounter with God. Personal encounter with God. Until you as a man have your own personal experience with God, you cannot really step into to the position he has made for you. You may be publicly acknowledged, but not divinely approved. You may be popular, and they say you are doing well, but yet you are not where God wants you to be. Everybody that's working is not doing their work. There are people that are working, but they are not doing their work. Yet they are working. You need a personal encounter. We have this problem in this part of the world now. The issue of everything going global. That things that what you are doing has gone global does not make it correct. So it is because some people are not known in their home, but they are global counselors. And they have never said to their child one day of counseling. But They are on the internet, they are counselors. Global. It doesn't need to be global to be productive. In fact, meanwhile, that you are traveling throughout the whole world does not mean you are producing. You are just a tourist telling stories of what other people did and just moving around and returning. You should be able to have an encounter with God to discover your place and step into it. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 14 says, since we have an high priest who is gone into the heavens, the man Christ Jesus. For we do not have a high priest that does not feel our infirmity, but was tempted in all forms, but without sin. He said, let us therefore draw near to the throne of grace, that we may obtain grace and mercy and find help in the time of need. Let us draw near. The more you draw near to the chief high priest, the more he helps you to become your own high priest. Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpeneth iron, so does a man sharpen the countenance of his friend. He that keepeth the fig tree shall eat thereof. So is he that waited upon his master shall be honored. As iron sharpeneth iron. The more you interact with God, have encounter with him, the more you appreciate what he expects you to become. The problem we have in so many cycles is that we live in the land of the blind, while the one-eyed man is the king. Every other person is on the floor. You are managing to stand, so you are being celebrated, not knowing that you are the best of the failures. Let me tell you, friends, you may be the best, yet a failure. I remember something. Let me mention it and mention the last point and stop. So many years ago, we did a mathematics test, primary 2. All of us failed. I had 2%. Some had 1. Some had 0. One boy had -1. So we were confused. We asked the teacher, what do you do? He said he's so annoyed with the boy that he will minus it from the next test. So everybody was crying. While we were crying, one boy ran in front of the class and he was celebrating. I am the highest. I am the best. He was smiling when everybody was crying. Some of us got annoyed. We went and hooked him on the shirt, took his script from him. We checked his mark and we saw it was true. He was the highest. He had 48%. But the pass mark was 50. So he was the best and the highest, yet he failed. So you may be the best among your friends, but you are still a failure. Because you don't understand your own place. That's why Paul said, comparing ourselves with ourselves, we are not wise. You need a personal encounter with God. Number 2, and finally, we need a fresh oil. Fresh oil. You know that it is the oil upon Aaron that separates him from his children to make him priest. And there's something, let's just read it and we'll stand to pray. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 8. Are we there? Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 8. Can we read it together? 1, 2, go. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy hair lack no oil. When there is oil on your head, from your wife to the least member of your family, we acknowledge the hand of God is on you. You don't need pressure. You don't need intimidation. You don't need prophetic harassment on them. If you don't obey me, I will curse you. And when I curse you, ask them, your husband curse you. No, you don't need that prophetic harassment. When there is oil, and Elisha returned, and the sons of the prophets said, surely the spirit of Elijah rested upon Elisha, and they came and bowed themselves to him. Let your garment be white. So anytime the devil is trifling around you with sin, he wants to defy your garment. Because that makes you lose boldness. Lose boldness. The righteous is as bold as a lion. The wicked runs when no man pursueth. Proverbs 28 verse 1. But the righteous is as bold as a lion. And the word righteous means to be in right standing with authority. When you are in right standing with God. And let not your hair lack oil. When I speak a word, and my child goes and finds that that word is fresh, it's a rhema. Next time there's an issue, she will say to me, Daddy, I'm going. What do you say? If my housemates cannot say to me, Daddy, remember me in prayer, means that they don't believe in what I carry. So when they call me and say, I'm about to write an exam, pray for me, I say yes. Let your hair lack no oil. And brethren, I've come to discover the more you function well, effectively as a priest, the more the Lord enlarges the congregation that comes under you.